Hey, I'm back. So this time I just wanted to make a quick I'm worried. Nothing is moving on the screen. I don't know if the thing is recording properly. I hope so. So what I wanted to talk about today is how to use the product Firescoff that I received. And the reason why I wanted to mention it is because I've tried it and it's really amazing. I really do must admit that it's really really impressive, really kind of surprising how efficient this thing is. So it's eco-friendly, so that's the main reason why I was so curious to try it. This is a collaboration with a French jewelry supplier that I go to and sometimes kind of work with, collaborate with. So this won't be really necessary for you, but as the notice, the way to use it, the explanations are in English. There's no problem for English speaking people, but for the French people, I felt that I had to mention some details. So I think I will mostly emphasize on the fact that it's American made, I think. No, it's not, I think, I'm sure. It's written on the bottle. It's without fluor, fluoride, or any toxic chemicals and harmful stuff for the environment. So I think that as a silversmithy, or if you make jewelry, and even if you have a small or a big kind of enterprise, a big business or a small business, I think it's important to go for things that are to be that process that is kind of sustainable in a way if you can. That's why I also wanted to mention this product, because it's truly not only super easy and super efficient, but it is also a good way to I guess make a less of a bad impact on your environment by using this thing. And the you can really go with it with confidence, because it's really efficient. So the way it works is a bit different. So this thing will replace the borax that we use when we want to make solder joints and things like that. And because it's of its composition, you won't have to pickle it either. So it's easy to wash off simply with warm water and a bit of soap. And here I've chosen a ring I had to resize because I had cut it and it was too big. So I thought it was the perfect kind of example to show you what to do. So what you have to do first before applying the Firescoff, you need to heat up the metal to about roughly 100 degrees. I didn't think you noticed there, but I did drop a little bit of plain simple water, because water will boil around 100 degrees. I don't know how many Fahrenheit that is, but basically you drop some water on the piece where you're about to solder, heat it up with a blowtorch. When the water evaporates, that means that the metal has been heated properly. Then you add some Firescoff. Be generous on the amount, because that's the only thing I would say, the only kind of negative point I found with that. You have to use quite a lot for this to be really efficient and do the work, because it not only helps it does the borax job of enabling a good soldering with nice flowing solder, but it will also coat and protect any surface you wish to protect from heat and stains from the flame. So it's apparently also good for if you want to solder pieces which already have setted rubies and diamonds and things like that. I haven't tried that yet, so I cannot say if it works or not, but that's what they put on the brochure. That's what they say on the brochure. So as you've seen, I heated up the metal, sprayed the Firescoff, added my solder. For this I used medium solder, I think. The only difference is that I had to use my little paintbrush and added a little bit of water, because I had no way to actually be able to place correctly my solder chip. So that's the only thing that changes. And the amazing thing with Firescoff, I think this is the best thing by far. With the heat, you can go straight away. The solder chips won't fly off because of the heat. They will remain in place in their initial position without you having anything to do, and no worries of, you know, things flying all over the place if you heat up too quickly. So I really think that's a way to gain so much time and be way more efficient. And I also realized as I was doing it, after looking how the finishing, you know, it is way more smooth and it hits up faster than the usual traditional solder. I don't know what is in there, but it's like magic. And it really makes perfect junctions, perfect soldering, and I really like it. That's why I would really recommend anybody to try this, whether you're starting, you're a beginner, or you're somebody who's been doing gender for a while. It really does do the job extremely well, and like I was saying, it's eco-friendly. It's kind of, I would say, eco-responsible to use those type of products. So here I'm gonna dip it in cold water because I wanted to check if what they say was true and if everything did go off as mentioned when it comes to the residues of the product on the metal after heating everything up. So on this one, I'm also gonna be plain honest. I think it would work perfectly fine if you did really straight away brush it in some warm water with a toothbrush or something and a bit of soap. But as you work usually on projects and you have to usually pickle, well, clean the metal quite often, I find it easier for me to just dip it in my pickle pot that is just next to my, like on the desk. But if you didn't have a pickle pot and if you were a beginner and you didn't know how to do all this, you could just get this and find a way to just dip some warm like water in a jar or something, and it will perfectly do the job. It's just more convenient for me to keep using my eco-friendly pickling solution, which is like kind of citric acid. I think that's the main composition. I will put the reference of all I'm mentioning, the Firescoff and the eco-friendly pickle solution. And yeah, I just wanted to mention this product because I thought it was really good, and I think you will see me use this more often in the upcoming tutorials. So yeah, I think that's it for me.